Hello everybody, I'm Andrew McClintock here at Fantasy Aid, here to give you my yearly rankings for 2016. We're going to start with the catcher position, and as you can see, the number one on my list and on everyone's list is Buster Posey, who is the undisputed leader at the catching position and is basically an entire of his own. He does everything well. He hits for average, he hits for power, he gets the RBIs, he walks more than he strikes out. I don't think there's anything other to say about him. He is the catcher in baseball. Number 2 on the list is last year's rookie Kyle Schwarber. He has the potential to hit a lot of home runs this year. I expect him to lead catchers in home runs. He has the potential to be in that tire with Buster Posey, but as you can see, he needs to cut down on the strikeouts. He struck out at a 28.2% clip last year, but he is the best offense in the National League with the Cubs lineup. He's got Chris Bryant, he's got Anthony Rizzo. If he can cut down on the strikeouts, he will be one of the elite catchers in the game today. Number 3 on the list is Jonathan Lucroy, who suffered multiple injuries last year and had a down season by his standard. He only got 7 home runs, 43 RBIs, his on-base percentage wasn't high, but the thing is, he's healthy again. The year before, he hit 53 doubles. He hit 359 last September once he was done dealing with these injuries, and I think he will cement himself back into the conversation as a top 3 catcher. He is basically Tier 2. I don't think he has Tier 1 potential, but he is more than enough for your team. Number 4 on my list is Devin Mesoraco. He was injured basically all of last year. But as you can see, I included his 2014 stats, and they're eye-opening. 25 home runs, 80 RBIs, he was walking, he was striking out a lot, but he was one of the top catchers in 2014. Now, if you look at his track record, that's really the only thing we have. He played 103 games in 2013, only hit .238, had 9 home runs. But I think he has the potential to replicate that 2014 success. Now, he is one of the more risky picks. I think he will go later in the drafts because of his injury-plagued season last year. And if you can get him in the right position, he could be one of the best deals of the draft. Number 5 on my list is Brian McCann. Now, he's what you would call a safe pick. As you can see, the last time he hit less than 20 home runs was 2007. Now, there are some concerns with him. He's entering his age 32 season, and that's starting to get up there for catchers. He won't hit for average, but he will walk for you. I feel like these kind of catchers get ignored because people feel like they're the boring pick and they want to go for upside. But this guy can lock down your catching position. I mean, he had 26 home runs last year, 94 RBIs. He's hitting in Yankee Stadium. I think he is definitely deserving of the top 5 spot. My number 6 pick is Salvador Perez, who can really be frustrating to own at times. He's so close to being an elite catcher, yet he's just missing some crucial stats. Last year was his first year over 20 home runs, and he's only going into his age 26 season. The problem is he doesn't walk. He doesn't walk, period. In his playing time since 2011, his highest walk season was 2014 with 22, and he only walked 13 times last year. His on-base percentage is extremely low for where I put him in the list. I don't see him improving on the walks, but I would like to see if the power can mature a little bit more. He's still pretty young. He's in a decent lineup in Kansas City. If I was rating real baseball catchers top 15, he would probably be in the top 3. But in terms of fantasy, defense doesn't really count, which is why he is where he is on this list. 7th on my list is Travis Denard. He has been injury-plagued most of his Major League career, which has really been holding him back. And I would have him higher on this list if he didn't get injured so much. I feel like a lot of the injuries he had were flukes, but you can't ignore that he's been injury-plagued almost his entire career. A positive for it is he has been working out at other positions for the Mets. It's possible they could put Plawecki behind the plate and have him play corner infield. That would significantly help with the injuries and could help his production. I mean, in 67 games last year, he hit 12 home runs. His average is going up every season. And he's 27, which is about the time you'd expect him to break out. So he will be an interesting catcher to watch this season. Number 8 is one of last year's breakout stars at catcher, Stephen Vogt. He hit 18 home runs, 71 RBIs. He was pretty good. He has a great walk rate, 56 walks to 96 strikeouts. Now, he is older. He's 31. He was a late bloomer. I think he can replicate these numbers. I don't think he can improve on them. He hit 60 home runs from 2007 to 2014 in the minor leagues, and it doesn't really show that the power is there. One positive is the A's do move him around. He will play first base, and he will play DH to get his rest. So he only played 100 games at catcher, which can help him play more than some of the other catchers might. Number 9 on the list is Blake Swihart, the rookie catcher from Boston. He had a decent first season. The home runs were up there. He hit 5. I think he has the potential to hit more if we realize his potential. He had 17 doubles, a 274 average. His on-base percentage was low. His strikeout to walk ratio concerns me. He's going into a sophomore season. And with the mode the Red Sox are in, they want to win now. They just signed Price. They traded for Kimbrel. If he doesn't perform well by the All-Star break, I think they'll trade for Lucroy. It's no secret that Milwaukee has shopped him last year, and I bet if Lucroy can get off to a good start, they will shop him this year. That being said, he was a celebrated prospect. He has the potential to be in that Tier 3, Tier 2 catcher. As of now, I'm keeping him in Tier 4 because I want to see some improvement with his back control. But we'll see where that goes. Number 10 on my list is Russell Martin, who had his first year with the Blue Jays, one of the best offenses in the American League, and it showed. His runs were up, his home runs were up, his RBIs were up. The one thing he could not carry over was his average and his on-base percentage. They dipped pretty low. He hit 290 with Pittsburgh in 2014. We were hoping it could carry over to Toronto. Imagine those numbers that he had if he hit 290 and a 400 on-base percentage. Those runs and those home runs would have been even higher. But he's getting older, and I feel like this is who he is. He's not going to be that 280. He's not even going to be a 260 hitter. You can see he's only hit over 250 once since 2009. 11th on my list is Yasmani Grandal. He had a pretty disappointing season with the Dodgers. He basically replicated his season with the Padres in 2014, except for an increased walk rate. And we thought moving to a better lineup, moving to a better park, that maybe he could improve on those numbers. And as you can see, May through June, he hit 311 with 13 home runs and 37 RBIs. But that means he had 3 home runs and 10 RBIs the rest of those months. He hit below 200 every other month. But Some were encouraging, some parts. He did increase his walks and decrease his strikeouts. His on-base percentage went to .353, which helped his OPS go up, and I think we'll see further improvement from him. His OPS went up, he's got better back control. I think we'll see him possibly, I would estimate, around the same amount of home runs. Probably the RBIs would go up to 65, 70. Maybe get some more doubles in there. He's not that old yet. He's going to be in his year 27 season, so look for improvement there. 12th on my list is Matt Wieters, who signed a qualifying offer with the O's to try and increase his value from 2 injury-plagued seasons in 14 and 13. As I said, he's been injury-plagued, but there's been some encouraging signs. His average was higher in limited play during those years, and he hit 20-plus home runs from 11 to 13. Now, the big question is, can he stay healthy? He has the incentive to do good on this one-year contract. So if he can stay healthy, I think he can have a 2013 season again. It's just the health that's the factor. 13th on my list is Yan Gomes, who had a breakout campaign in 2014 but had a largely disappointing 2015. He had over 20 home runs in 2014. He won a Silver Slugger. We thought maybe this is a top 10 catcher right here, but he just had a down year. His strikeout rate is horrible. He only had 13 walks to 103 strikeouts last year. And in the minors, he didn't have the power. Maybe he can get to 18 home runs if he has a good year, and that's a pretty good year for a catcher or not. But I don't think he's going to get back over 20 home runs again. Hopefully he can get that average up. I don't expect him to get the walk rate up, but that should help his OPS if he can get that average up. Maybe hit a few more doubles, because he needs to get that slugging up too. 14th on my list is J.T Realmuto of the Marlins. Now I have a couple comments on him. Take a look at the stolen bases. He had 8 last year, and that's not something you expect from the catcher position. In 2014, he had 18 stolen bases in the minor leagues. I found that surprising. I didn't know about that until I researched it. He had 21 doubles, he had 7 triples, and he had 10 home runs in his second season as catcher. He needs to improve his back control. He struck out a little bit too much, didn't walk enough. I think he can continue to develop his power. Now, not a lot. I think he can be a 15, 16 home run guy as he's going into his age 25 season. Last on my list is Yadier Molina, the Cardinals catcher. He had a down year compared to his other years. He only got 4 home runs. RBIs were decent. He doesn't strike out, which helps. He makes a lot of contact, which I expect his average to be around the 270, 280 range this season. He's entering his age 33 season. He's broken down late in the last 2 seasons, and the power's evaporated. He hit a high of 22 home runs in 2012, but hasn't really replicated that in any other season he's played. As you know, he used to be horribly offensively, but then he started improving. He started hitting over 300, but the last 3 years, his batting average has declined, and I think age is finally catching up with him. This has been Top 15 Catchers. We will be doing first basemen next. If you have any questions, email me at fantasyaid1@gmail.com or leave a comment below saying what you liked and disliked about this list. For Fantasy Aid, this is Andrew McClintock signing off.